just haven't seen the tackle yet anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's show of Mauls, Balls and All the Breakdown. We are live on Facebook via Ruckus and Mauls, Balls and All on YouTube. We will be on Spotify later on as well. We would love if you could possibly subscribe to one or all of the channels if at all possible. Tonight we are joined by Matt Boland and Mike Reedy. Mike.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening all.
Good evening all.
Mike, I'll come straight ahead to you anyway. Australia 22, Lions 12. What were your thoughts on the match, Mike?
Ooh, I tell you, it wasn't a road. It was a bridge too far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, it was probably naive for Andy to pick almost the same 23 for all three games. Like Australia didn't. Australia had completely different. They had about 6 changes from between the second and the third test. And as we looked out on our feet, absolutely out on our feet the entire game, we had nothing else to give, and we sustained some untimely injuries, like I told you, and James Ryan and also Tommy Freeman. So, like, it didn't help. And so, something I've thought about since the game. Of the back three players that played in all 3 tests, one try between the 3 of them. Like that's not fucking good enough. If you think about it, Australia, all their wingers scored. Jorgensen scored 2 tries. That Pesky, whatever his name is, that played on Saturday, scored.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter scored a try. No, and it's a bit of a concern, to be honest, because going forward, even from an Irish perspective, our wingers seem to, and I'm wondering if it's something to do with the actual style of rugby we play now. Is the ball not going? I mean, James Lowe is passing the ball to fucking Ty Byrne to score in the corner in the second test. Tom Curry is passing the ball to Dan Sheehan to score in the corner in the second test. Tom Curry scored in the corner. Like, why are our wingers not fucking being there, the receiver scoring those tries? It doesn't really matter ultimately who scores them, but that's what our wingers' bread and butter is fucking scoring tries. Look at Australia, look at New Zealand, look at South Africa. Their fucking wingers banging tries for fun, and ours don't. So it's something that needs to be looked at. Another.
It's just a style Andy's going for, bringing the wingers in a bit farther, creating a mismatch out wide, with bigger lads as well. So maybe that's part of the plan as well. So
I suppose it's changing the whole perspective of how it's played. But we physically, every aspect of that game Saturday, we were substandard, and I would say. I mean, to me, one of the only players that really stood out and played to any level was Hugo Keenan. I thought Hugo Keenan had a decent game.
Yeah.
And I outside of that, I honestly don't think anybody else. Maybe Ty Byrne had a half decent game, and Tom Curry, but really and truly, we got bullied all over the park, and we weren't strong enough.
There's a comment there by Peter. He says, Mike Reedy thinking, Jesus, that's a first. That's because Mike has found a nice, comfortable fence to perch himself on top of. That's why he's thinking now, Peter, to give him a chance. But come on, Mike, off the fence.
Everybody keeps accusing me of sitting on the fence. I make more comments by controversial comments than anybody does on these shows.
You do in your hole.
I fucking do.
That fucking fence is firmly stuck up your arse.
You saw it is. No, I don't know.
My question for you: do you think the weather conditions?
I have a question I want to ask later on after you've we'll get Matt speak to his thoughts on Saturday's game first.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Mike, do you think the weather conditions played a factor in
Oh,
how the
absolutely.
game ended?
I don't think it helped anybody, in fairness, and in a way, it helped Australia because that big fucking what's his name, Skelton. He's an absolute tramp, by the way. I really wanted someone to stick one on him on Saturday. I genuinely did, by the way, and it's an awful thing to say about a rugby player in a game, but he's a wee fucking naff, and or a big naff, and you'd like to have him in your team, though. To be fair, you would like to have him in your team, but he put himself about, and he. No, the injury to James Ryan was totally accidental, and in fairness, it was James's own fault, heading the wrong side. Like, it's a schoolboy error from his perspective. I thought he was playing actually all right, James Ryan, and it was a shame. We lost both of our locks, massive loss. And as soon as Itoje went off, our line-out went to absolute shit. Yeah. We had no, like, we just couldn't cope with it at all. And Dan Sheehan has been kind of blamed for that. And I don't think, I mean, his throw into the line-out has been okay, you know. They were straight and they were accurate. Our timing was all wrong. It just went to pot as soon as Itoje went off.
So I suppose we had a lot of forwards here and there, especially in lineups. They have one kind of lock where they're looking to kind of organise everything. I suppose maybe Itoje was key to that. So a lot of those things can.
It looks very much. I mean, it was almost as if you flicked a switch when he went off. Our line-out, we lost 5 or 6 line-outs after that. That's nowhere near good enough in any rugby match or any international.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed. However, I think in light of the actual overall perspective of the Lions tour, it probably didn't do any harm that Australia won a game.
Yeah.
Because it's all very fine to have all these records, but what do they mean really and truly? Nothing. And it probably means an awful lot more to world rugby and to Australian rugby that they won a test match. And let's be honest, was it not for a couple of minutes at the end of the second test, they could have won a series. So
yeah. Gregor Galway coming in and says, even though congrats to Bundy and being a dad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He's in again saying that was the first time I've seen a thunderstorm at a game. Let's see. Skelton is Australia's version of Ireland's Trevor Brennan.
Yeah, except Skelton is twice as fucking big as Trevor Brennan.
Yeah, he's an absolute fucking unit and a half, to be honest with you. He is that big.
He'd shite Trevor Brennan for breakfast.
He was in everybody's face all game, wasn't he? He was just and the fact that
he did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, but the fact that the storm came in meant that he was able to recover enough to stay on for about 60 odd minutes instead of 40. So I think that benefited Australia, but I don't know if it would have made any difference anyway, because it didn't matter who they brought on. Our lads weren't at the race.
Yeah. Matt, I'll come to your opinion for the Australia Lions game. 22-12 Australia. 8-0 up at half time. And was it the Mercer Claw score was this? Yeah. Australia basically had the game won by more or less the time we scored, I suppose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game was practically over as a contest anyway by the time Jack Morgan got his try in 68 minutes. But what are your thoughts on that anyway, Matt?
Well, look, I mean, not much more to say than what Mike said, but like they were out on their feet you could see starting the game. Now, the conditions were fucking horrendous. It was like a monsoon, torrential rain, and I'd never seen anything like it before. Like, the rain was coming down in sheets. At one point, the camera was looking across the pitch, and it was just grey. It looked like a real old TV where you used to bang the fucking side of it to get it fucking to focus properly. It just looked like fucking static more than anything else, but terrible, terrible conditions. But I can tell you, Australia, they deserved it 100%. You know, they from kickoff, you knew that they were up for that game, and it is disappointing for the likes of Andy Farrell that he didn't make more changes, because they were clearly fucking wrecked after 3 intense test games before, or 2 intense test games before that final one. And like, he had the players there to pick that were ready to go, that would have done a job, but for some reason, and I was reading something today, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, Andy Farrell's going to have a lot of work now to get back, if he goes back into the Ireland camp, to build fucking Josh van der Flier back up again, because I don't care what anybody says, that's going to affect him going back into Ireland camp massively. There's no trust there anymore. Like, you know, like, I don't know how you go about rebuilding something like that, but it's going to take time, I'm telling you. But like, as Mike was saying, the wingers, like, we don't have fast-paced wingers. Hansen is probably one of the faster ones, but we need the likes of fucking Calvin Nash, who's actually really fucking quick on a wing. You know, we don't have the likes of Cheslin Colby's or fucking BL Barry, they're lightning fast, and as Mike says, score fucking tries for fun. We don't have that. And yeah, we've got a really good, strong running in James Lowe, where he can, like, he just runs through people rather than beat them in a foot race. But you know, you need that speed as well. Like, but look, I mean, fucking Skelton had one job, and he did it perfectly well. He just went on to fucking annoy everyone. There was a couple of fucking times where he should have been called out by referees. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, was it the second test? It must have been the second test where he late shot on Furlong. Like, he should have been penalised for that. Like, that was a fucking joke. He did it again in a third test as well, but he was just a fucking menace. He was in at everything and pulling at everybody in. He was fucking out and out scumbag. There's no other way of describing him.
Yeah, but like, you need that one for them. You need that one for the produce a bit of shithousery every now and again, just to get great.
Yeah, shithousery, but like, there's taking it too far as well, and he fucking took it too far. Like, now, I know the whole fucking James Ryan thing, that was completely his fault. You know, when you're tackling somebody running across a fucking pitch, you make sure your fucking head is on the opposite side, like schoolboy error, and there was nothing Will Skelton could have done to stop that happening. So, in terms of that collision, it was fine, but it was everything else, like fucking starting fights left, right, and center, fucking pushing people, fucking twice he hit the scrum half, and like, there's a law against that now, and he was never penalised against it.
No.
So,
speaking of
consistency, the consistency in the refereeing is really fucking obvious and blatantly obvious, and you could see at that third test where they were afraid to make any fucking calls because of what happened with the in the 79th minute, that Jack Morgan thing. They were afraid to call Anthem, but that's not good enough at this game. You know, it's really not. Like, the referees are there to control a game. You know, the likes of Nigel Owen, you really need him back. You know, or another ref that's going to be like him to literally just fucking lay down the law and just be fucking consistent all the time. Now, I know there is grey areas around all the laws and all that sort of stuff, but fucking hell, they have to get some sort of consistency back across the board. Like, it's just a fucking joke. Like,
you know, even Sonia coming in here, so Skelton got away with murder. Number of after hits not noticed by officials was a disgrace, and Peter actually agreeing with you as well.
Yeah,
but absolutely. I mean, he
were noticed, like, because everybody noticed them. So, like, it's not good enough that they can say
party officials
didn't notice.
The TMO was there, and he never came in once. There was a high shot in fucking Jack Conan at one point in that first half as well, and that wasn't even noticed. And all of a sudden, then, like, for 60 odd minutes, the TMO was nowhere to be seen, and then all of a sudden, he just came up with that fucking nonsense of what. He came up with something that there was a fucking forward pass or a knock on or some bollocks, and it was grand. Like, can you remember what that was? It was in the second half.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
They stopped play for fucking nothing.
Yeah, and in fairness, the referee said no, there's nothing there.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, but that's what you're dealing with. Like, absolutely no consistency there. And that Marius Jonker, he's a fucking gobshite. He is Stevie Wonder. He couldn't fucking see shite on the end of his nose. He couldn't.
Pierre Brooks said Stevie Wonder was the TMO. Either that or he was waiting for his Uber and was in the truck for most of the game.
He should be called Marius Plonker.
Marius Plonker. That's what I fucking called him in the group. And that's polite. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Bev is here saying, seems like refs and TMOs can't be asked doing their jobs anymore. I think a lot of the reason for that is
it's the social backlash.
Social media backlash.
Social media backlash. And look, you can't blame them either, because when they make these controversial calls, the first thing people do is go straight onto fucking social media and berate the referees. Where it gets to the point like they get fucking death threats and their wives and families get death threats and on, and that's a load of bollocks as well, which I don't agree with that either, because these fucking weasels are fucking great at fucking pounding on keyboards, but they walked up the street, they wouldn't fucking say boo to a ghost, like, do you know what I mean? So that really fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to post something online, post it in such a way that you go say it to a person's face if you meet them on the street.
Oh, 100%. Like, and that's the thing. And like the majority of these clowns that are posting online, they're not even posting from their own personal fucking pages. They'll go on and make a fucking fake profile where they're just out to fucking troll people. And I can guarantee you they're all little fucking weasels sitting in their mom's fucking attic or something, converted attic, and they don't have fucking jobs and they just pull their fucking plums left, right and center and stay fucking 24 hours a day playing games and shite, you know? A lot of bollocks. And then they think they know they think they know about rugby and they haven't set foot on the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
One thing I want to ask you about there, Matt, as well as you said about the trust between Farrell and Josh van der Fleer maybe being damaged. Do you think that could light a fuse under van der Fleer to prove Farrell wrong next time Ireland is playing in the Autumn Nations? So just to show you should have picked me. I was good enough.
Look, I hope that's the way it's going to go, because we need a good Josh van der Fleer in the team. But he could just turn around and go, well, fuck you, I'm not playing for you now. You didn't pick me in the Lions. I just go, fuck it, I don't care. And that's the way. I know he won't, but professional. He could. Fucking shit happens left, right, and center these days. You don't know how that's going to affect a guy, mentality-wise. Where he's going to go home and go, fucking, why didn't he pick me? What was I doing wrong? And then all of a sudden it turns into a mentality thing, and who knows? I'm pretty sure it won't, but there's always that doubt there somewhere in the back of the mind where he could easily be going, why wasn't I picked?
Well,
but I suppose up him through.
But it's going to be very important for Farrell to come back into camp and address it straight away.
Well, I'll tell you something else that he needs to address. That whole team, the majority of that team were Irish, right? In fact, the majority of them were Leinster players. It's going to be hard to lift them, all of them, by the way. They all need lifted now. And another thing, they're going to be absolutely exhausted. Each and every one of them are. I mean, Tyke Byrne must be absolutely fucking exhausted. He's played nearly every minute of every match.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many. Do you know something? This could have a really adverse effect on Leinster going forward for this season, for the season coming, because the players have none of their players have had any rest. Like they're back into pre-season in 2 or 3 weeks time.
Yeah.
So what rest have those guys had all season?
They might get an extended rest period.
Yeah.
Well, they'll have to. In fairness, they have a big squad, and they probably have. I mean, they probably have enough lads back in camp that'll get them through the first month or 5 weeks of play. But Andy Farrell has a big job in his hands to raise the Irish team again now, because that's a big blow.
And that's what I mean. Like that's what I was talking about. Like he has to come back into camp now, and pull on the green tracksuit, and then he has to rebuild that team. And there's going to be personal building up, but there's going to be the whole team building up as well, because we'll be going into a November internationals where we're playing New Zealand and Australia and fucking South Africa. Do you know what I mean? So
I am not fucking looking forward to that. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah,
It could go very badly for us.
Yeah. Then coming in here as well, and you're saying, as a multi-man, I don't think Josh has anything to prove. His exclusion was baffling, which is true.
I agree.
But
He has nothing to prove.
He has nothing to prove, but he is going to be thinking he has to prove himself now. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he will, Matt, to tell you the truth, because he's already proven it. And
No,
you know something?
I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case, Mike. But can you imagine, right, starting for fucking Ireland day in, day out, being relied on so heavily, and then getting picked for a Lions tour and not even getting a test cap or a position on the bench, like being completely excluded. Tell me that's not going to affect somebody.
Well, it could very well affect him. It could very well. I don't know. I don't know personally.
And that's why I'm saying it's very important now for Andy Farrell, when he gets back into camp, that he needs to address that straight away and go, look, Josh, or whatever he has to say to him, they need to have a conversation, because
no. It also does appear though Andy Farrell has his favourites. I mean, he has his favourites and he picks them. Like James Lowe was dreadful in the tests he played. Let's be honest, and so was Tommy Freeman. Neither of them should have played the second test. To be honest, they shouldn't have.
We all said that here before. I think
the same. And Tommy Freeman was picked again for the third test. Now, he picks a 6-2 split.
Yeah.
Which left us bringing on Owen Farrell. Owen Farrell done absolutely fucking hee-haw when he came on. Nothing. He made some. It was a fucking man down. He didn't do anything majorly wrong. But Bundy Aki has been hung out to fucking dry by the media. I thought Bundy Aki carried well in the first half of that game. He was as good as anybody else. He wasn't.
But this is the thing, though. They look for people to scapegoat, because they don't want to blame the likes of a Toje or Curry or any of them, because they all perceive them to have.
I don't know who they want to blame.
But like Bundy had a lot of fucking shit going on as well. He was sitting in his fucking hotel room before that fucking starting test, and there was a fucking baby being born on the other half side of the world. Have people factored that into the conversation? Of course they fucking haven't, because they don't know what people are going through in their personal lives either.
Yeah. I have to be honest. I think that's another position that Andy got wrong in the third test.
Yeah.
Tui Palapa should have started the third test.
Yeah.
Like Bundy's fucking 35 years of age.
I don't think he was fit. I don't think he was fully fit.
No, he must have been. But why don't you come out and tell people that?
He should. He absolutely should, because he said it about Hansen. He said he was at 85%, which is not good enough for a starting test. So, but I think there was doubts over Tupiolatu. There was doubts clearly Gary Ringrose, because he was ruled out anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But then there was Hansen that was injured. But like, if these guys were in no way going to get into the team, they should have been fucking sent home and replaced. Simple as.
Hansen actually went out there injured, and he never recovered really properly.
But that's what I mean. That's like,
we
all said
that he
was picked in the first place. But to have him there at 85% is madness.
And here's another one. Then he takes out fucking the two Smiths as fly half cover backup, and neither of them were fucking turned out to be good enough. Like for any of the fucking Marcus Smith got a bit of time in the first test. Outside of that, fucking neither of them got any time.
Crowley would have been better.
Yeah.
Well,
the guy has done a better job.
Fucking hell, anybody, Jesus.
In fairness, I think Finn Russell,
reading something very interesting.
I think Finn Russell would have played as much as he played anyway, no matter who was there, because lads, he had a good tournament.
He had a good tournament, and look, they all played shit in that fucking third test, but it was fatigue. It was fatigue.
Even Gibson Park. No, Gibson Park was off the pace a bit in that third test.
I'm sure he's been copping slack as well.
Yeah, but that Nick White, like he was fucking right in their face. He's another little bastard man, by the way. He's another little fella. I know how you feel about scrum halves now, Danny. I can see it now, by the way. He typifies everything.
Now you understand.
Typifies, like, to be fair, he was outstanding. He was outstanding the way he played. And so are all the Australians. Like, Australia wanted that so bad. And fair play to them.
And that's the thing. And you could see it in the second test. They wanted it so bad. Now, it was their own fault they lost the second test, giving up an 18-point lead. But you knew their intent as soon as they kicked off in that fucking third test. There was only one winner in that fucking game. They had that game won already in the mind.
We never look. Do you know? See in the second test, even when we were 23-5 down, I never, even at that time, I didn't think we were out of it. By the way, but see Saturday, I fucking couldn't see us. I could see nothing because we had nothing to give. We honestly had nothing to give. And I genuinely thought once they got the second try, I thought we're done here. By the way, we're fucking not coming. We're not going to drag this back.
And you see, like the Lions, they were trying to play. They were trying to play too much. Even that Jorgensen try, you could see they were all bunched up, and they were fucking the passes they were throwing were absolutely shocking. And then it ended up being knocked on, and he picked it up and fucking ran half a length of a pitch, like, and scored a try. Like, that was pretty much it. Like,
that was the one. Bundy got blamed for that. The fucking pass was behind him. Kinghorn, he reached back his arm to try and get the pass, and he fucking couldn't drag it forward.
But that's they were overplaying. They were overplaying, and unfortunately, Bundy's copped the slack for that, which is not right, because nobody has seen fucking Blair Kinghorn fucking throw it fucking 3 feet behind him, like.
Yeah.
You know, like, no, and these no-look passes, like, fucking disaster.
Now, Peter's saying here is that none of the Leinster players went on the Lions tour will be in pre-season training, and we want to see them until at least round 4, I suppose. Anyway,
yeah, definitely.
Now, there's comment here, and it brings us nicely into this subject here. I think Sheehan is very lucky, to be honest. We all knew he wouldn't be playing until at least the 4th round anyway. So no loss really, as none of the Leinster Lions will be back for those matches before the Munster one. Now, as you know, Sheehan got cited for a tackle on Lynham in the first half. That was missed by the game. And he got a 4-match suspension, possibly down to 3, if he does complete tackle school. Matt, do you think it was right for him to be cited?
Yeah, 100%. I saw it in the game, and I was actually baffled that they didn't call it back. But there were so many instances in that game that warranted a TMO to look at, and nothing was looked at. So, and then the thing he did fucking look at was completely fucking nonsense. So, like, you could definitely see, like, Sheehan went in. Now, his intention was to clean out, but unfortunately, where Tom Lynagh was in that ruck, his head popped up and he looked straight at Sheehan, and Sheehan had already had his arm, he was already committed, and straight shoulder to the face, like, and he went off with a HIA, and I think there was 5 HIA injuries in that game, and that'll show you the intensity of that game. Do you know what I mean? But rightly so. Look, Sheehan is not a dirty player by any stretch of the imagination, and I think it's just one of those. It's just one of those unfortunate rugby collisions that do happen. Now, it might have been deemed reckless because of the positioning of Lynagh and the contact that was made shoulder to the head. But again, these are things that, like, these should be caught in the game. Like, they should be. They should. The TMO and not so much the referees. The TMOs have all the fucking camera angles, have all the time in the world to be checking these fucking things. And they need to start fucking waking up, because I'm telling you, that Marius Plonker, he's an out and out fucking plonker. I wouldn't even have him fucking TMO in a fucking kids game. He is fucking useless. A bit like fucking Ben Whitehouse in the fucking TMO room as well.
Yeah,
you know, so
Peter.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the thing, like, the referees are getting slated, but yet they're not getting the backup that they need from the likes of the TMOs or the fourth officials or the sideline officials. Now, the odd time they do, but fucking hell, they need more support, and it's simple. It has to come from the TMO box. They have all the angles, all the cameras. You know, it's just fucking madness.
Donny in there was saying there's no problem with Den being cited, but there were others who got away with shithousery. Woeful non-action from TMO.
And the TMO should be brought into, like, the fact that Dan Sheehan has been cited and has brought into a disciplinary. The fucking TMO should be brought into a disciplinary as well, going, how did you miss all this shit? What the fuck were you doing? Were you in the jacks? Were you wiping your arse? Were you fucking watching shite on a different fucking TV? Were you even watching a fucking game? Like, they need to be accountable. You know,
Yeah.
like the reason that like these referees are copping all the slack for making bad decisions and in things in the game is based off TMO reactions or non-reactions, as the case may be, and they're the ones that need the support. But the problem is the referees on the pitch cop all the flack. Nobody's getting on to fucking the Marius Yonker that didn't see all these shit and giving him fucking grief because he's sat away in a box somewhere. He doesn't give a shite, clearly. Stick him onto the fucking pitch. Do you know?
Well, he should definitely should be he definitely should be seen like that was there playing to be seen for all. And like, you know, when it's a player on your team, you're kind of hoping, oh fuck me, I hope they miss, I hope they don't see that. You're kind of secretly hoping, but they should. It cannot be missed. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable at any level of rugby that has the facilities and the TVs at their disposal to miss incidents like that. And it goes then. It's actually fucking embarrassing is what it is, because it took them like at the end of the weekend for somebody else viewing that. The people that saw that picked up and cited him only saw the same fucking camera as everybody else. And for him to miss that is unacceptable. It's fucking unacceptable, really.
It is unacceptable. I totally agree with you. It's absolutely unacceptable. And they should be brought into a disciplinary going, why did you miss this? Or how did you miss this? Or like, why aren't you doing your job right? Or fucking give me an explanation as to why. Like,
there has to be something in place where any player that has to be removed from the pitch for a head injury assessment is like the incident has got to be looked at that caused the HIA. It has to be. Like it's a nonsense. And for Tom Lynagh had to go off with
Scarrood Two Tones comment there, because that's pretty much fucking spot on in what he's saying. Can't understand how Sheehan was cited, but no one else. Either apply the laws across the board or not at all.
Absolutely.
That's exactly it.
I have something here from the Irish Examiner. And said, following the independent disciplinary process on Monday morning, Sheehan has been suspended for 4 matches under Law 9.20a. Charging into a ruck and may be reduced to 3 should he successfully complete the coaching intervention program commonly known as tackle school. So, like Mike was saying, if there is a HIA, it should be looked back at what caused it. Is there a reason for?
What caused Tommy Freeman's HIA?
Yeah,
I fucking don't know still. Do any of you guys know?
Again, I didn't see what happened to him, but again,
we all know what caused James Ryan's, because he got fucking sparked. I don't know what caused Itoji's either.
That could be the very similar thing that Dan Sheehan did, but it wasn't copped, and I wouldn't fucking surprise me. Do you know that?
Well,
it really wouldn't.
You're talking.
There was bodies flying into rucks, and there was no fucking sort of wrapping of arms. Taniela Tupou nearly cleaned out 4 people at one time, and he ended up actually going through the ruck and ended up fucking 4 or 5 feet out the other side. Now, if that's not diving over the top, I don't know what is. Do you know what I mean? But I guarantee you, a similar situation happened with the likes of Itoje and Tommy Freeman. Because Tommy Freeman, his nose was bust. He looked like he had a fucking broken nose, his blood pissing everywhere. Tell me somebody didn't fucking shoulder him in the face, like.
Well, there was the incident where there was a bit of a free-for-all, a bit of a punch-up. And that little fucking arsehole, Nick White, and like Ty Byrne was kind of laughing at him, and Tom Curry was wanting to fucking kill him. He was going for him, like, by the way. Ty Byrne was pushing him away, laughing. The little arsehole took a swing, like, he took a fucking swing, so he did, at Tom Curry, and I think he caught him in the chest, like, but I think you want to be bitch slapped, you little fucking arsehole. But, like those kind of things incite other people to. I know you want those players on your team. You want a fucking player that's getting stuck in. And lads, they were on some downer, like going into the 3rd test, having lost the first 2, so they had nothing to lose.
They had that's the thing. They had absolutely nothing to lose. and they threw the fucking kitchen sink at the Lions, and rightly so, because
Fair play to 'em.
and fair fucking play to them. They had the mentality to go and do it, and they did the job. And I can guarantee you, they were probably I can't even imagine how they felt after the second test.
Do you know,
After throwing away an 18-point lead and then losing it in 5 minutes.
See when the lightning break came in, and there was a decision made, or it's already a pre-decision anyway. If the game is abandoned, the actual result stands as is. I'm thinking, they fucking planned this, man. Is this something that they obviously haven't planned the lightning, but the lightning wasn't anywhere close. It was fucking within 10 kilometers.
It was 10. Yeah, there was a lightning strike 10 kilometers from the stadium.
Yeah,
so
what was
in terms of safety, they said, look, we have to
spend the match.
I wonder
if it gets a certain distance to the stadium.
It was, or was just something somebody fucking said because we're 8.
Who knows, Mike? Who knows? But it was the strangest fucking thing I've ever seen, because, as Mike alluded to earlier on, like, you know, there was 40. They came out, played 2 minutes in the second half, and then had another 40-minute break. So the likes of Will Skelton and any of them lads that were fucking out on their feet had time to recover.
Yeah, it didn't do us any favors.
You know, so when they came back on, they were able to go for another 20 or 30 minutes, like, which was massive. And I think it helped Australia more than it did help the Lions.
Absolutely.
I think the Lions they came out and they were all over the place.
Yeah.
We'll finish up in this anyway with Bev Anne Marie's comment before we move on to the women's game. Said, I'm not condoning violence, but Nick White should have had what Nick Farr-Jones had during the Battle of Ballymore. Maybe it would have taught him a lesson.
No, Bevan, what would you do? we can't be saying things like that. That's more or less what I said, isn't it? You want to get
he deserved a fucking slap. Is what he deserved, and a proper fucking dig, not a little snipe from fucking Faf de Clerc for tickling his mustache. He needed a proper fucking belt.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's
and a good way to sign off his international career with a broken jaw or a broken eye socket or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of props that would love to give him a 4-finger slap. Peter Burke being here. Mike being Karen here. I'd like to speak to the manager of the weather, please. But lads, we will move on because the women face Scotland Saturday as well in their first of the warm-ups for the Women's World Cup. Might surprise you, I was actually at the game. Some people may not.
I didn't know that, Danny.
He didn't. It's news
never,
now. I know.
Realized.
Yeah, I know. I pulled the clear definitely on that and never told anyone anything that I was going to the match or anything like that. Let's see. Sonny Cork, they had their dressing room set up for a big break, massage tables, bicycles, etc. Maybe conspiracy theories. Maybe so. Let's see. But Mike, I'll come to you first in this one because I know you're watching the game. Ireland 27, Scotland 21. What do you make of that match, Mike?
I have to be honest, by the way, I was almost shocked for the first 20 minutes how poor we were. Like I thought, what has happened to this team? But then we sprung into action. Like they scored 2 tries, and they scored 2 easy tries behind the posts, like, you know, and then we came into the game and we had some exceptional performances. I think she played 6. There was a black girl playing in the back row for Ireland. What's her name? Grace something.
Grace Moore. Yeah.
What a player, by the way. What a fine she is. And there was another wee Kirky. What was her name again? Another dark skinned girl. Outstanding.
Yeah.
And Eve Higgins in the centre is an absolutely brilliant wee player. Dana missed 4 conversions. Now that's something that needs to be worked on. Because it's the same in the 20s, the women's 20s game. We were missing kicks at goal. And like we had 5, we scored 5 tries and we only converted 1 of them. Now when Scotland converted 3, all 3 of their tries. And we should be beating Scotland out the gate. Let's be honest. I'm not going to fucking pretend otherwise here. We have two exceptional wingers. Neither of us brought it. I mean, the ball was never going out to the wings.
Yeah.
Parsons kept on having to come in field to get ball and run, and is a very effective runner. She's fast, she's elusive, and so is Costigan on the other wing. And I thought, we need to utilize players with the ability that they have. We need to be utilizing that more. It's something that needs to be looked at. But you know something, lads, it was a decent performance, and we came out with the win. I think Scott Beeman has done an absolutely exceptional job with them, because we've gone from being abysmal like a year and a half ago to now be contenders. Well, we're genuine contenders, like, for coming out of that group. Is there only one team, Danny, out of and in the top? Was there two coming out of each group?
Two come out of each group, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, judging on the Spain-England game, I'm not sure they're going to put much of a fucking contest.
Look at England, come on.
Huh?
Look at how good England are, to be fair.
I know, listen, England are going to do that to a lot of teams. They will do it in the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
But Ireland have some very, very good players. We have because that Brittany Hogan is a great player as well. Like, to go into a game without Aoife Wafer and Aoife Dalton and win it comfortably. It was comfortable in the end. Scotland, like, they got another try. Their third try came from that. I think the full back ran right through the whole fucking centre of our team and scored under the post. Like, all their three tries were under the post, basically. And we couldn't convert ours. And some of those were, in my opinion, like, within the range to be converted. And Dana is better than that. She actually converted the most difficult of the five.
Yeah.
And but I was impressed with him. I was well impressed with him, because we're getting better all the time. And this weekend's game is massive. It's a big up. That's a big step up now. The Canadian game is at the weekend, but I was really, really impressed now.
Even Gregor
Scrum half was brilliant as well.
Scuffle McCabe.
Yeah. What's
Scuffle McCabe was the scrum half.
That's right. Scuffle McCabe. Yeah, I thought she was very, very good.
Yeah. Even Gregor Gaw was saying as well, Canada will test us more, right? And he's right, because we faced him in the WX15's competition last November. They beat us. So, to be honest with you, he's going to be...
Danny, but you know something? I watched that game, by the way, live.
Yeah.
And I thought how, because of our lineup was so ineffective in that game, it cost us dearly. And I thought we could have actually won that game, but Canada are a really good side.
Yeah, the second in the world at the moment.
Yeah. A bit of a surprise at the weekend as well. I know it was the Silver Ferns kind of second string team that played South Africa.
That was disappointing.
41-24.
Yeah, like, because as you said, like, it was the second string Black Ferns team. So, like, was it just they were just trying to fucking get players up to scratch, or
maybe
one, or what? But fuck it, I would have thought Black Ferns would have won that game.
Yeah,
well, I predicted that they would, but they obviously
we all did.
I think we all
did. Yeah, but, like, to be honest, I say it's their second string squad. Though the main squad, they'll probably have gelled a lot quicker.
Yeah. Sorry, when is the actual World Cup kicking off? Friday, the 22nd of September or something, is it? Sorry, August. 22nd of August.
August, yeah, because, like, it's
Thursday or Friday night or something.
In the month, all right. First game is 22nd of August, and it's the opener, England versus the United States. In that one, first game.
Is it Thursday or Friday night or something? Is it?
Friday night, yeah. Our first game is the 24th of August at midday, and that's against Japan.
Yeah.
So, actually, let's see. Gregor Gaw is coming in there saying regarding Brittany Hogan, she's an Ulster player, all right. I did meet her briefly after the match for a meet and greet, and she's a nice player, good player. Had a couple of quick words to her as well.
You spoke to Aoife Wafer, didn't you, Danny?
Huh?
You spoke to Aoife Wafer. Is she close to being fit, or is she?
She's hoping to be back at some stage during the group games if she can.
Jesus, I think it's so disappointing if she's not for her as well as the team. Aoife, what's the story with her?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything about her at the moment. Anyway, been out.
She's an exceptional player.
Yeah, but I was talking with Chloe Pierce as well, and I think she was kind of alluding to the fact that the men wanted to try a few players here and there to see how they did, because just in case there was injuries coming in to any of the matches and stuff like that where players are missing. But looking at the back row, the start of Saturday, you had Grace Moore at 6, and you had Ivana Kiripati, the other player you're on about there, Mike. At 7.
Brilliant.
Normally we'd have Aoife Wafer at 6 maybe, and Aaron King at 7. So to be honest with you, they're 2 players that are out as well. Our second row, normally we'd have Dorothy Wall in there at 4. She's out injured with a knee injury as well, so she'll be out for a while, unfortunately. So it looks like Emer Corey or Fiona Tootie might be taking over there in the second row for her as well.
Yeah.
Until the World Cup is over. But even when I was watching the match Sunday, the ball going out to the wings was slow, and even when we did get out there that far, Scotland were pressing hard. They knew the threats of Costigan and Parsons, so they were stopped quick. But there's some excellent breaks here and there by a few members here and there, and which showed how good they were as well. The other thing I think that kind of slowed us down and why it took us a while to get into the game was our front row was completely different to what it was that started as well, because we had
Dugan didn't start to it.
Yeah, we had Siobhan McCarthy, Maloney and Cy McGrath starting in our front row. We had Niamh Jones coming off the bench, Niamh O'Dowd and Linda Dujan as well, all on the bench. So there was an awful lot of changes here and there.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe
it's the right time to do it, in fairness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the right time. Now's the time to do it. Because you don't want to be finding out during the World Cup if we have players good enough, if Linda Dugan goes down or Niamh gets injured, or if we sustain injuries, we need to know that there's somebody on the bench that's going to be able to do the job.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, with Canada coming up now, I'd say it will be close enough to our strongest hand, I'd say, going out for that game and stuff. Bev Ennis as well here replying to Gregor Galway as well. She said the BBC have coverage of the Women's World Cup, where she's not too sure if RTE or Virgin Media have the coverage of those games. I'm sure one of the broadcasters will be covering it.
Gregor has answered further along there.
See, RTE has the rights, for Ireland.
That's good. That's good.
So at least we have the opportunity to see those games.
I must look at the program, because I want to see as many of those as I can.
Yeah, I said we're guaranteed three group games anyway, so there's a good chance to probably get out of that group. But it'll probably be France or Italy we'll be facing in the quarterfinal then, depending how that group goes as well.
I'm not being funny, but I think we're capable against either of them.
Yeah,
Italy more so than France, yeah. It depends on how we go against New Zealand. Matt, you didn't see any of the women's game at all from Saturday, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Look, I mean, it started off very slowly, and I thought, with the girls, I thought they might have been just rusty, and I was kind of fucking nervous for the first 20, 25 minutes, but geez, it was day and night their performance in the first 20 for the rest of the game, because they just came to life. I mean, as Mike has said there, that Grace Moore, she had a fucking great game. I thought Kira Patty played really well in the back row as well. And you could see the changes that were made are kind of good for the game time as well, because again, a bit like the Ferns going with a completely different team. We didn't go with a completely different team, but you're getting girls up to game standard. And I tell you that'll be a great game against Canada. It'll be a much tougher game, obviously, because Canada are a strong team, but it'll be no harm for them doing that game and then going into the World Cup a couple of weeks later. Do you know what I mean? So they look to be getting to a nice peak. So if it's peaking at the right time for them, I mean, I wouldn't be fearing France in the quarterfinals. I really wouldn't.
Yeah. But no, one thing was it? Jeez, what's that? What was I going to say? I had something to add there now. That I was actually behind Siobhan McCarthy's parents and sister during that game. I just had a few words with them here and there as well. And the one thing they're saying as well was the 4G pitches, and she doesn't like them. They're saying the rest of the players don't like them either.
I don't think anybody likes the fucking things.
Yeah,
terrible.
They're awful fucking yokes.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember what I was going to say now. One thing I think that threw us off kind of early as well was Grace Moore coming off in the first 2 or 3 minutes for a blood substitution. Derla Nicoveid had to come back on for 7 or 8 minutes. I think that might have messed up our mojo a little bit because
possibly,
because like if when you're that kind of quick into let's say the first 5 minutes of a game, you're usually trying to settle in, then something quick changes, and that kind of unsettles you, and it takes a while to resettle.
Absolutely. I mean, 5-10 minutes nearly sometimes to get settled into a match. Jesus Christ, Ireland of years ago took about fucking 20 or 30 minutes to settle into a game.
Yeah.
But like to be honest with you, even then, Joe, getting up to 14-12 at half time, it kind of showed the resilience of it them as well. But the one thing I think that happened as well was the Scottish prop that got taken off.
Injury.
Yeah, I think that was some sort of ankle injury or something like that. And the minute I saw when I was looking over because I could see the stretcher near the halfway line, and when I saw him getting that out straight away, I was kind of like, oh shit! I hope that's only precautionary. Unfortunately, he was stretched off, and it's the one thing you never ever like seeing, no matter even how much it's like a player, you don't want to get him seen stretched off for any injury whatsoever. But
hopefully she's okay, and she's going to be able to play in the World Cup as well, and she's okay. Yeah. It looked rather serious now. I mean, like as you say, she was taken off. It's never good to see a player taken off on a.
Yeah, because like she had this thing covered most of her leg as well, her left leg as well. Anyway, so
they put a boot on it straight away.
Yeah, so I suppose everything was just precautionary, right? Anyway, next week now we have Ireland versus Canada. Mike, how do you think that game will go?
Jesus, Danny, I think we have a genuine chance in that game. By the way, I really do. I know Canada and justifiably they're number 2 in the world, and number 2 behind like fucking England. They're just so dominant. But I think we have a genuine chance in that game. By the way, I do. Now we'll have to play it. Probably we're going to have to up the standard of last weekend's game, which I think we will. I mean, Scotland had played another game prior to playing us at the weekend. They'd already played a game, so that was our first outing since the Six Nations, and we were rusty. There's no doubt about it. So that game will stand us in good stead, and I think it's important that we bring Parsons and Costigan into the game more. We need to utilize them on the wings because they're both very, very good. And they're good finishers. They're both excellent, fast players, and they need to be utilized. Yeah. So there's a little bit. There's a bit of work to be done, and I'm sure, obviously, Scott Beamel will be doing that. But I think we've great chance to beat Canada.
Yeah. Now, Gregor says well here that second place Canada played 10th place United States. I think it was last week as end as well. So obviously they have a bit of experience going into that as well.
Yeah.
Gregor says as well. It says remember kickoff is 12 o'clock. This weekend for the game, not 2 o'clock.
All right. Okay. Cheers, Gregor.
Matt, how do you think the Ireland-Canada game will go the weekend?
Look, it's going to be a good challenge for them, I think, and it's a good time. This Canadian team, they are world class, and they're probably one of the better teams in the world. But like they've got good results just as well as we've got. Like I think one of their last games with the Black Ferns, they drew 27-all, and we've beaten them before as well. So if they have a full strength team and everything goes well, they have absolutely every chance to win this game if everything goes well for them. And it'd actually be great if they did get a win, because a real high level momentum going into the World Cup, and they'd be buzzing after that, because there's no doubt the Canadian women are probably what did you say? They're second in the world, are they?
Yeah,
in the world, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and where are the women? They're probably fifth or sixth, are they?
Fifth, we are.
Fifth, I think, or something like that, yeah. Fifth maybe, all right.
In the rankings.
So I think,
We're fifth behind New Zealand, France, and then us.
Yeah.
There you go. So look, I mean, there you go. So look, I mean, yeah, look, they could
sneak it.
Be great if they could.
Yeah. No, we have the women's interprovincial starting this weekend as well. As far as I know, all those games are on the BBC iPlayer and TG Cahar's YouTube page as well. The first game we have, starting off on the weekend is Leinster versus Ulster. It's going to be depleted sides on both sides because of the World Cup and the most players in camp at the moment. But how do you think that'll go now, Matt? Now, bear in mind, Leinster are defending champions. Ulster haven't won a game in numerous seasons. I think it's 7 seasons plus or something like that since they've won a game. Do you think it's going to be one-way traffic for Leinster in that game? Ulster could pull a shot.
It might not be one-way traffic because, as you said, a lot of them girls are gone already onto the women's team. So I'd still reckon Leinster will get the result though.
Mike, how do you see that Leinster-Ulster game going?
Well, I mean, to be honest, they both have depleted sides because there's 2 or 3 Ulster players as well in the Ireland squad, but there's a predominantly Leinster. But that being said, Leinster are very strong. Like they have the depth of squad. So, and like you said, Danny, Ulster haven't beaten Leinster in God knows 7 years. Just say, can't see that change. Right. I don't see it changing, but you never know.
Mike, I come to you this one: Munster versus Connacht.
That's a hard one to call, by the way, because last time they played, it was a very tight affair.
Yeah.
And Munster have probably more players in the Ireland setup than Connacht. So, where is that game?
It's on in Cork, Musgrave Park.
Musgrave Park.
Home advantage.
I don't know, Danny, to say I don't know now. I mean, I'm a Munster man, so I'm going to say Munster, but that's for no other reason other than the fact I'm a Munster man, because I haven't got any great conviction now, to tell you the truth on this.
Yeah.
But I've definitely gone back on the fucking fence for this one.
We'll allow you this one, Mike. Matt, how do you think that the Munster-Connacht game might go?
Do you know? I think Connacht will get a sneaky win there. Do you know that?
And you know what? Just as I was putting up Bev Ann's comment, she said Leinster will win, Connacht will win.
Yeah, I think Connacht will get a sneaky win there. Yeah,
they probably will. But that's why I said it without any conviction, But you can't really go against your own team, can you?
That's true. I suppose you have to give them the benefit of the doubt as well. But considering some of the players in the Munster squad, I know I posted there a while back. You seem to have a lot of kind of experience there. You have Mabel O'Leary coming in as captain. You've Chloe Pearce involved as well in there, so there is a bit of experience in that squad.
Is Katrina Finn in the Munster senior squad now? She should be.
1 second, I will try to find out here. Like I'd say, what they're waiting for as well is maybe a few players to be released as well from maybe the Irish squad before they bring up any other players or something like that maybe. So there's that possibility as well. Jesus, I thought the posted there.
She's a wee port roll girl.
Yeah. Yes, no, lads, I seem to have trouble finding it here now, lads. I thought I had seen somewhere, alright, but this is quicker.
That's all right, Danny. Don't worry about it anyway.
No, I thought I'd be able to find it somewhere, right? But to be honest with you, I'd say when the squad was named, I'd say we just haven't had a chance to see it yet anyway, or bring it up anyway, but let's see. Oh yeah, one second now. Who are you looking for there, Mike?
Katrina Finn.
Katrina Finn.
Right half.
Right here.
She was playing in the Clovers team. She was playing full back in the Clovers team.
No, she's not here at all anyway.
Oh, she's injured. She's injured.
Yeah, I mean, just looking through the months squad here, you got Nicole Cronin in there as well. You have Stephanie Noonan, Alana McInerney, Chisholm O'Weary, and Katrina Finn. She's in, all right. Yeah, I see her there now.
Is she? Yeah.
She's in the squad. Yeah.
I think she's injured. My niece was saying she's in. She was injured.
Yeah. No, she's named. She's named in the squad there the 9th of July. So unless there's been any last few minutes changes or something like that, to the squad.
She's a good player. She played. She was the fly half for the Ireland 20s team that played in Wales.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, she might make an appearance there now, all right. Anyway, at some stage, anyway, and yeah, like there's a fairly good squad, but you can see like even in the pack, I'd say the most experienced players you have that I can think of off the top of my head are Chloe Pierce and probably Maeve O'Leary. Is that now there is a Lily Morris from Ballincollig in there as well. I'm not sure if she's the one that played with Killarney as well, but she's up in that squad as well anyway. So I'd say a lot of the under 20s players that were there are probably getting.
Well, it stands to reason, doesn't it?
Yeah. And we have one last comment there by Mike Sheedy. Irish women's rugby's first game, job done, but they get better and win again. Munster women to win as well. So, yeah, at least it's kind of even that way anyway.
Okay, Mike, you stay in the Munster. Keep the Munster flying.
We'll call tonight anyway, and until next week again, Matt, Mike, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy it, guys.
Thanks a million.
Take care.